Matter of fact, half the motherfuckers in here that might think they Billy badasses, the minute bullets start flying, that's when the bitch comes out in you.
Ooh, watch out. Hold on.
Because a lot of you motherfuckers might be looking like you can do something, but y'all bitch made. Straight up. And I'm supposed to tell you how many motherfuckers walked in there, thought they were alpha males just in the Marine Corps boot camp and folded the fuck up. Couldn't even make it through our boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get it. I don't get where the liberalism has come out in so many people to where they feel like the risk of American lives are nothing in comparison. You know, I watch a lot of game shows, and I'm a big game theory type of guy. People like to have these grandiose ideas, even when they're trying to fight for $5 million for their own family and their only well-being. I've seen so many people on these different game shows just out of their minds is like, oh, I'm going to look for the good for the camera, and I'm going to throw myself on this sword and sacrifice my benefits to my family that I could potentially win for somebody else's needs. Get the fuck up out of here. How many wars have America's fought for other people? How many American sons and daughters have to fucking die before you catch a hint? There is a NATO. The UN can get involved in this shit and actually support them themselves. Why does America have to be the American police of the world, but then y'all get pissed off every time America gets involved in some fucking thing? Well, why America got to be over there in somebody else's business? Because NATO won't get the fuck up off their ass and do it their goddamn selves. Now, you talking about the European Union right fucking there. We're not a threat. Like Zelensky said, we're separated by oceans. Oceans. Ain't nobody reaching us real quick. They can definitely walk up into Germany and all these other places. Why aren't they getting involved? Where's the NATO forces at? Why is America only one have to fucking cough up the goddamn ghost to save the fucking world? And then anybody that says that America wants to pull out, all of a sudden we're doing something wrong. Why isn't the rest of the world doing something else wrong? Crickets.
Yo.
That's all I'm saying. Y'all got a lot to say. But ain't nobody willing to put it on the line and actually risk their lives in a fucking combat situation and catch a fucking bullet for it, though. But you can run your fucking mouth over the shit. You can tell American sons and daughters what they should do, the ones that actually opted in to serve their country. You can go tell them to go ahead and rush over there and catch a bullet for some other nation that has nothing to do with that son or daughter that's from America. And you got a president that's over here demonstrating the fact that he's not even appreciative of the fucking money we got that we gave them.
Because nobody did nothing to him for him since 2014. Like, bro, you sound like a hurt female. Like, bro, we talking about here and now. And plus, why you think in your head somebody's supposed to do something for you in 2014? Who owed you that? Where does that say that in the world as the rule of life? Like somebody owes you day one support when a war pops off. Where do you figure that? Why you figure that? And you here in the now, and we trying to broker something right now. Yes, we don't agree. I get it. We agree to disagree. And there's many points that you want, but you're in my office, in my house, in my country, demanding that I do what for you and your people in your country in your war?
Yeah, Black Prophet, you got to see what Zelensky did, man. He just sat there and totally was trying to be disrespectful to the president of the United States, bro. You know, like I said, then be argumentative on camera. I mean, you should run that back real quick just so they can see that little bit of exchange, man.
Let me see.
Because that's crazy. Ridiculous. You don't come up in our house like that. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who the president is. You gonna show some goddamn respect in goddamn America. Yeah, money isn't free. Black Prophet, you right. Money is not free. We gave up $350 billion. You don't think we need a rate of return? All the weaponry we done gave up.
Nah, because people want to just be like, oh,
America got that kind of money. What did people say not more than a year ago? That $350 billion could have ended homelessness. It could have put every homeless veteran and everything else in the homes. It could have ended child welfare. It could have ended a whole bunch of things at $350 billion. Even giving black people reparations. What the fuck?
All right, here we go. This is the part right here where he really crashed out.
Trying to prevent the destruction of your country.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position to
this question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about
it. From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
That man don't care. That man don't care. You're gambling with World War III. He just was like,
because he knows if America stays involved, it's the biggest opposition to Russia.
Yeah.
But yet and still, like I said, there's NATO nations all around Ukraine. NATO is right there. The UN could pass a resolution right now to activate the NATO forces to replace whatever the United States is doing. Why don't they? Why is it always on the Americans' backside to carry the fucking full brunt of the world? And then when we do it, we're not appreciated for it. He doesn't even appreciate the 350 billion, because if you play that a little bit longer, you'll hear the vice president say, "You haven't even said thank you." The American hard-earned dollars that were sent over there could have been used here. He hadn't even said thank you. The sense of fucking entitlement a lot of these countries have when it comes to us and what we're supposed to roll over and fucking do for no apparent reason, just because we can.
Mm-hmm. But that's okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get Zelensky's point. So it's not like I don't understand where he's coming from. I think it's a great strategy. And if it actually works, right?
Gaslighting and guilt shaming.
Yeah. I get it.
Gaslighting and guilt shaming.
Shame, guilt, sign language, right? Shame, insult, guilt, the need to be right. So I get it.
Kevin Samuels.
Thank Kevin Samuels. Zelensky out here doing it now. But I get it. I completely get it. But as my favorites, when I was watching a TV show called Spartacus, the guy gave him this big story and stuff. And then the general said, "My heart is moved, but my mind remains fixed." So my heart is moved by what you have said and about the lives that have been lost, but my mind remains fixed in this matter. I hear it, but it hasn't moved me to the point where I'm going to logically I get what you're coming from. Zelensky, you make sense. And then, of course, the Black Prophet said Zelensky didn't crash out. And then he said Trump did, followed by Drew. He said, shout outs to the panel and salute to the chat. Then also the Black Prophet says Russia's close to Alaska. Thanks for that, that lesson. And Drew said Zelensky should have signed the deal and we would have secured the minerals for workers and securities. He got to come back and bend the knee. Exactly. You would think that would be easy. And then the Black Prophet again says, and the USA is using Ukraine. Also, the money wasn't free. Followed by F. Trump. And then he says, won't talk to Putin like that. Also, and then, of course, Passport Blue says the free handout is over. Correct. Followed up by the Black Prophet says, don't worry, Ukraine's going to just align with Russia and China. Well, have fun then. Zelensky would be dumb to sign his mineral overs to the USA. And then because the USA get involved in every country government, you see, there it goes, Ronan. And then I wouldn't sign that deal. That's a bad deal. And you see, that's what you were just talking about, RT, because the USA get involved in every country's government. So Which one is it? Do you want us involved or not? And
we're on the open panel, by the way. I dropped the link in the chat if y'all want to come up real quick and make a comment.
Most people's real position, RT, is, give us the money, do what we say, and shut the hell up. That's what it really is. It's like they be trying to treat America like a household dad, like a traditional American father. Like, hey, Dad, give us all money to go to college.
Let me fuck you. Go in the room, go in the kitchen, make me a fucking sandwich. Shut the fuck up.
No. I wish, but the whole thing is, they be treating us like the family treat the household father. Hey, Dad, shut up. Send us to college. We want this car. I want to go get this degree. And when it don't pan out, I'm still going to blame you. And then, hey, just pay for everybody. And then we're going to divorce you at the end of the day. And it's all your fault. Like, that's the energy that they're coming at. And I get it. Again, hey, Zelensky, I understand your position. I'm not stupid. But at the end of the day,
we don't have
my mind remains fixed. Exactly. And J.A., you're always welcome to come up. And J.A., you're welcome to go fight in the war in Ukraine. You believe in it so much, then stand on it. Shout outs to D.E. is in the building. Darnell, what's good? What you got, brother?
Hey, salute to the panel. Salute to Obstacles and Ronan. Everybody hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. You're gonna learn a lot from Obstacles. I'm telling you, he's like a tall black Yoda.
Tall black Yoda. Yeah. Yo, Darnell, it's just keep your I don't know if it's your mic. Try to go check your mic and get it fixed because it just is choppy all the time. Because I had a playback clip that I wanted to, because I wanted to play back one of the clips we had, but I couldn't because it was just
you trying to sound like the fuck out of DE.
Oh man,
not this one. It was something else when he was talking about he was a slave, but it wasn't this one. But go ahead, DE. Go ahead. Say what you got.
I was just curious, real quick. What clip is it?
No, it was the one we were talking about, the loan and lending and slavery.
That is slavery. Yeah.
But go ahead. What were you going to say about crashing out in Zelensky? Crashing in or crashing out? There you go.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think you guys got to lay off Zelensky a little bit. I mean, this guy, he stared down Putin. When you guys were talking about the money that we have given to Ukraine, the thing is, the United States says, I fought 2 losing wars. One of them Afghanistan, the other one Iraq. I mean, the history books are still being written on Iraq. But the thing is that, we have a history of supporting regimes that are corrupt, don't fight back. Our money literally is going down the toilet. Literally, Vietnam. Or South Vietnam, I should say, which no longer exists. Afghanistan, Iraq. We've given these guys a lot of money, a lot of equipment, and they just wouldn't fight the enemy. And one of the things you got to give Ukraine credit for, they fought back against Russia. In fact, they bloodied Russia's nose. This war should have been over in 6 months. Russia should have taken over Ukraine in 6 months. We're 3 years later, and Russia's only taken over about 20% of the country?
But Darnell, that's on the back of American dollars and American technology. But had we not intervened, it would have been over in 6 months, just like you said.
Yeah, I agree with you. But that's my point, is that when we gave billions of dollars, hundreds of, I want to say, what it was, about 500 billion to Afghanistan over 20 years. Those guys fell in literally. Those guys fell. In just a matter of a couple months.
Have you been following that and why it did fall like that?
Afghanistan. Yeah, I mean, I was there, man. I mean, those guys, they wouldn't fight for themselves.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Those Afghanis had no fucking desire. They're sitting there. They're sitting there smoking hashish while the American people and the American sons and daughters were actually doing all the fucking fighting. They're sitting there getting high, literally high,
building $1 million mansions. I was there. I used to fly over Kabul.
Exactly my point. So why should our sons and daughters continue to keep going over to countries when their sons and daughters don't give a flying fuck?
Well, but that's the difference with Ukraine. Those guys fought back.
Good for them.
Well, you gotta give these guys credit.
We're not trying to take credit from them, but the idea of the entitlement that Zelensky is having, sitting at that chair right now in the president's office, when he should be as humble as ever, because we're the only ones still supporting. Where the fuck is NATO? Darnell, where's NATO?
Well, Germany's been a huge supporter. I think.
Where are their sons and daughters?
Well, they're sending money. They're sending equipment. They're sending their Leopard tanks. Their Puma.
Let them keep doing that, and we'll pull back. We'll let NATO just take over from now on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that they'll. To be honest with you, I don't have a whole lot of faith. The problem with NATO, they don't like to spend money on defense, or I should say, the European countries.
Spend up
they don't like to spend money.
Spend up our resources. Now, here's the game that y'all don't know about. If China was planning on invading Taiwan, invading the Philippines, which they're all primed to do right now, guess what we're using to help Zelensky fight his war against Russia? We're using our reserve bombs, all our bombs that they're using for their artillery. All those bombs are already pre-made, and we had them in stockpiles. We're pushing all that over to the Ukraine to let them fight their war. So our stockpiles are slow. Guess what? Russia can develop almost 100,000 of those in a month. We can only develop, because a lot of our industries have shut down, we can only develop maybe 20,000 of those same shells a month if we went to the reproduction of them. Well, we had stockpiles. Listen, wait, let me finish. Well, we had the stockpiles before. We've depleted them helping Ukraine fight their war. So when China starts to gear their fucking engine up and start to go into Taiwan, and we need to protect those chips, and we need to protect the Philippines for the trading shipyards and lanes right there in the China-Filipino Sea, and all the other things that we're going to need artillery for. Guess what? China's sitting there primed and ready to go, fully stocked and ready, and we don't have the fucking armament. Then what's NATO going to do?
I have to disagree with you, Ronan, because we've also depleted Russia's stockpile.
No, I mean, Russia has high production. I just told you they're producing over 100,000 of those shells a month.
No, they were borrowing shells from North Korea.
No, they were getting it also from the Chinese, and the Chinese was
and the Chinese.
But here's the thing: you got two industries side by side producing that shit at a rapid rate. Where's America getting their reproduction from? We're still down. They're up. They produce faster. They can get it done faster, and the war is closer to them, not us.
Well, the thing is, Russia's under heavy sanctions, so they can't produce as fast as you say.
They can produce whatever the fuck they want. Ain't nobody stopping them. Yeah,
that's not true.
Have you looked at a lot of the YouTube channels of local Russian people when they go to the grocery store? They still get some of the American products and everything else. They just pay a little bit more, and oh well, they're just going to do that. Russia don't give a fuck about that. Russia don't care about their people like that.
They pay a lot more, and
hold on real quick. Hold on, just give me a second, guys. I'll let y'all guys go back at it. The Black Prophet says the USA was one that got the former president of Ukraine ousted, followed up by USA is one that got the puppet Zelensky in office. Then Brett Raw says, good evening, everyone. And shout outs, Brett. Thank you for being here. Greatly appreciated. You got that ranch. Watch out for people called J.A. Shout outs to people just saying salute. Black Prophet says, and if Russia didn't take over because the U.S. gave Ukraine weapons, followed by Zelensky is entitled because he knows the USA was the one that got him in office, followed up by LOL, this dude's full of military propaganda. Roger that. All right, continue, guys. Go ahead.
I just want to respond to his comments real quick. I mean, first of all, has that guy even? Well, he said you read a bunch of his comments.
This guy's full of propaganda, blah blah blah. Yeah, Black Prophet
has military. I think he's part military. I'm not sure. You
go ahead. And Black Prophet also, you can call up, man. I don't know if you're on Ronan's. Okay, so he dropped the open panel. If you want to, you could come up. But go ahead, DE, reply as you want to.
So, I mean, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, has that guy been watching the news the past, 11 years? I mean, first of all, everything was started with the previous president. Ukraine had multiple previous presidents the past 11 years, but the one guy that was a pro-Russian, all right, he wanted to do a deal with European Union. When Russia said no, he said, okay, we're going to pull out. And then that's when the people began to revolt. And they
Well, the reason
ousted
he
him
did that
out
is
of office.
because part of the deregulation of the USSR was NATO could not establish any NATO bases or any unions with nations bordering Russia. That was
He
part
wasn't
of the
trying.
agreement.
It wasn't trying to join NATO at the time. They were
Vernon,
trying to do
Vernon.
a trade deal.
Darnell, let's do this, guys. This is one of
I
the
don't
things
mind the
I'm big
ghetto
about.
cap. I'm getting ready for the show
you
tonight.
look like
But I had to get back. I just told you, I jumped out the shower for this one, bro. I just couldn't stand it.
No, that's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Look,
So-
guys. Look, always, especially with history, man, it's like a lot of people got different perspectives. Everybody says they right and they standing on the truth. So that's just humans. It's 8 billion of us. We're all not going to agree on history. That's crazy.
Right.
We can't even agree probably on 2 weeks ago or 2 days ago, let alone going back 200 years ago. So let's do this. We're in the here and now, right? And what it is I don't blame him. I understand Zelensky's position and what he's attempting to do in order to get support. I mean, it would be perfect, right? It'd be perfect if Trump gave him what he wants, which is, hey, guys, we fully support Ukraine and we will take down Russia by any means necessary in order to get this deal done that in favors Ukraine. That's what Zelensky would want. That'd be perfect. Now, of course, possibly people could say, no, that's not exactly. Okay, give and take a couple of things. But at the end of the day, bro, and then RT brought a great point up. The moment we took a position like that and we was dealing with Russia like that, because we got the battery in our back, thanks to Zelensky now, at the end of the day, Taiwan would be open. If I was China, I'd be like, perfect. That'd be the perfect time to strike if I was China, bro. I'd be like, yo, let's take the semiconductors over. Because after that, it's a landslide.
China's already building islands literally in the ocean, in the China Sea. They're building islands literally.
They probably sit back praying that we do some nonsense like that. And then that would be, oh man, landslide. But even if that doesn't happen, right? Zelensky is attempting to get what he wants for his people in his war, right? I get that. But this is America. This is our house. This is what we want. And I don't give a damn who we put who there, who put here. I think it's so crazy that Americans sit around. Most of them haven't been anywhere, in the rear with the gear, haven't served their country. I get that. But y'all sit back and say what America should have. We are one of the strongest nations, one of the most powerful economies. The government, we don't win every battle, but we've won the war. We've won across the board. We are the strongest nation. So I get that we've taken L's here in Afghanistan. What about this? It's not a flawless victory across the board. We're going to take L's. I get it, yeah? We lost Afghanistan. We put a lot of money in there and trying to turn that country around into favor what we want. And we lost that. You're right. But net, are we not the most powerful economy in the world and one of the most powerful militaries in the world? And if that's the case, then I think we're doing good as far as geniuses go. And if you got a better idea, please run for government. Please be a general, because all you guys on YouTube are the best generals, the best diplomats of all time. So I want you guys to get the hell off of YouTube and get in the real world and make America impeccable. Because you guys be on the internet talking like, yo, I got the answers, and this is how you solve problems in China. This is how you solve problems in Ukraine. At the same time, curing world hunger. Like, I want you guys to, like, you guys got to be in the real world. Get off the internet, you know, because the world is really needing y'all to take charge and fix everything, because y'all got all the answers. Wait, hold on. Let me go to the Black Prophet. The Black Prophet says, wait, hold on. The CIA got in Ukraine and helped oust we got that, I think. The pro-Russia president. Okay, got you. Remember that. And shout out to the Black Prophet. Zelensky should have signed that first deal, but he listened to the former prime minister of the UK and didn't sign. Zelensky is an idiot and didn't read The Art of War. Followed up with, you took an L in Vietnam also. Yeah, we took an L in Vietnam. That's cool. But we still run the world. So you get me? Like you
got to take your lumps with your wins.
Exactly. I take the losses with the win. That'd be different if we was a third world country. We're not.
I mean, shout out to Vietnam for never being conquered. Even the French tried to go in there and kick their ass, and they couldn't do it. You know, we're not the only country that lose against a smaller nation.
That happened.
Guerrilla warfare is a motherfucker, especially if you're organized guerrilla warfare wager.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
And also, let's be honest, RT. let's be honest too, RT. We didn't use all our power we could. We could have just dropped a bunch of nukes on Vietnam. So we were still holding ourselves within a construct of humanity and Geneva Convention, where it was like, all right, if we just drop like 50,000 nukes on them, that would have been out of order, right? Like that we would have went down the history of doing some effed up. We get heat for just dropping 2, let alone that much.
Right.
So net.
No, we didn't bring out our biggest weapons. We kind of did the skirmish thing.
Like, we did the skirmish thing and try to do it, and then we couldn't keep up with it because, of course, Americans were also shaming the American government for fighting in the war, right?
Soldiers,
so we lost we mostly lost on both fronts, in the homeland and overseas, right? We lost the position amongst the American people to support it, and then we lost also actually down in theater. So, of course, but I get it, but that happens. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we won the back war, which is who's more a powerful economy and military now in the world? Us, not Vietnam. So we won that war, the real life war outside of war.
Right.
Shout out to the Black Prophet.
A lot of these countries have downsized their militaries because it's just not a beneficial thing to have.
We won the economic war. Don't forget, there's still one of those wars, right? So even if they won the military war, we beat them in the economic war afterwards. And the Black Prophet says Ethiopia never got conquered also. Yeah, and they could barely get electricity today. That doesn't matter. Only cowards use nuclear weapons. That's not true. Winners use nuclear weapons. It's not cowards, guys. This is power. You can't create constructs around power and attempt it. I get what you're saying. That's a powerless position to try to construct, well, if you were so powerful, you wouldn't use violence. Violence is one of the primary forces of power in the world. That's crazy, guys. Shout out to Black Prophet. Hey, Darnell, how do you feel about the vets getting fired by Doge? All right.
Damn. I mean, I'm a vet too, but the whole thing is, even with the nuclear weapon thing, you had the Cold War go on for how many years? 30, 40 years, damn near, between Russia and the United States. And it was always about, when, we launched, they launched in succession. And it was just that whole fear thing between the 2 largest nations in the world at the time. The Cold War was something serious, so, the threat of nuclear war is always a leverage pin. It's not something that would be done without thought or malice of thought. So a nuclear weapon, if you have to fire one, it should be of last resort, and you are a coward for using it. But at some point, eventually, that those 2 bombs did a lot of significant damage, not only presently to Japan in that war to stop it quicker and cause less lives to die, but that demonstration has carried on for how many years? Since the 1940s? You're talking almost 100 years. Getting close to almost 100 years since that bomb is dropped. Not too many other ones have dropped since, because nobody wants to see that kind of devastation ever again. So the fact that you dropped one to demonstrate it, sorry, but not necessarily so sorry. A lot of lives got saved. But at the end of the day, ain't not another one had to get dropped since. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Okay, good. DE, go ahead and say what you want to say, because I know he kind of directed it at you about the Doge and the vets, and then I'll read comments. So don't go on too long. Go ahead, DE.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know enough about it. I do know that there are. I have heard. There is some fear about there's fear at the VA. There's fear. In several other organizations. I think jobless claims have gone up, specifically in Washington, D.C., which the federal government is one of the largest employers in the capital. So, there is that ring of fear. There is, it's kind of one of those things. I don't know how to feel about it, because I've always said for many years that the federal government needs to cut spending. I don't like how President Trump is going about it, but at the same time, at least he's the first Republican to actually cut spending. So I mean, granted, we're still early, but if this goes through how it's supposed to work, he's going to be the first Republican president to not only talk about, oh, I'm going to cut the deficit, I'm going to cut our debt. He's going to be the first Republican to actually do it. So, in that respect, I'll say, hey, I hope it works out. I mean, there is fear and concern, but unfortunately, I just don't know enough to really have an informed opinion.
Yeah, no worries. That was a good one. All right, shout out to Chris. Chris Weiler says, Zelensky was disrespectful. It was funny when a reporter asked why he didn't wear a suit and then kind of threw things off since he always wore a club security guard outfit. LOL. Shout out to you, Chris. And then Alone 2307 says, why would you wear that hat? Because I'm a G. And then a Passport Blueprint says, with all the money we gave Ukraine, Zelensky couldn't buy a couple of suits, followed by Alone saying Zelensky was disrespectful, not disrespectful. Shaking my head. And shout outs to Buck who just joined the stream. I got you. And then the Black Prophet says 600,000 vets and Fed jobs, and most are DEI hire. And do you think Japan forgave us? Don't care. Shout outs to Chris. And Chris says, what do you think is next for Ukraine? And do you think France and the UK will get more involved, or are they waiting for us to take the lead for mediating the peace? They definitely want us to take the lead.
Yeah,
and then, of course, yeah, right. Let us be the ones who catch all the flack. RT says salute to Paul. And then he says troll night. And tonight on the Lion's Den. What is the Lion Den? When do you go on, Ronan?
We're 9 Central, 10 Eastern Standard Time tonight.
Okay, so we're going to be cutting this.
Night. We're going to have troll night tonight.
This.
So all you trolls that love to troll different people on the show. And Paul Milner.
I cut my stream before RT come on. So I give him the Kevin Samuels treatment.
I appreciate that, man. And we just talked about last night with trying to get people organized to do time slotting and promotion, cross promotion.
Yeah, it only makes sense.
And yeah, I shout you out all the time for doing that. Much respect.
Yeah, you do. So that's why I'd be always like, if I know you going in and I cut my stream, and that's cool because that's just respect. And then the Black Prophet says, yeah, cut spending, but tax breaks for corporations. What you laughing at?
Oh, you'll get to it when Paul Miller makes his response to Black Man Travels.
Oh, okay, good. And then Paul Miller said, did you delayed your trip to the Philippines, brother?
No.
And then followed by the Black Prophet. Go ahead.
April. I'll be there in April.
April, yeah, he's still going like Donkey Kong. The the Prophet says, where the revenues coming? Okay, got you. And maybe he's driving. Alone says, stop it. The deficit is about to explode. And then stop it, not and answer. What? Okay, anyways, Paul Miner says, can eat. Whoa, D, respectfully. Come on, man. What are we talking about
Black Man's Travel because Black Man Travels wants that smoke tonight.
Okay, JD Vance says, is a weasel, and he will never get elected as president. Wow.
No, I don't think he will.
Now, he's kind of boring. Shout outs to Buck. Buck is in the building. Nook, if you book, boy. Nook, if you book, boy.
Hey,
what's going on?
Hey, salute to the.
All right, let's not turn it into the ignorant show. Go ahead, Buck.
Thanks for make America great again, man. If y'all complaining about this great country, denounce your citizenship and get the fuck out of here, bro. This is the greatest country in the world. On every country, here's the thing. Everybody talks about America this, this evil thing. Bro, think about it. Every country in this world did some evil things. I mean, if you look at Japan, they did some evil things to China. They killed off like 40 million. They deleted off 40 million Chinese people. So we can't be looking at it, be saying, oh, America's evil, this, that, and third. At the end of the day, America might not be perfect, but it's like the best country in this world, even, so I will say this, I would definitely agree with Elon Musk with him cutting a lot of those government jobs, because a lot of government workers, man, a lot of them are fucking lazy as fuck. They don't do shit. They come in, clock in, clock out. They're just bodies. They're just bodies. They collect their paycheck. They do their 20, 30 years and they get their pension and they're out of here. So we want this drag out of this system. So that's why it's like I'm against all of this. I'm actually for the government, spending and all that. Like, because we have the government right now is bloated. the government right now is fucking bloated, man. Guess what? There's like if you combine all the workers within the government, that's all their salaries combined is $300 billion, bro. We can be more efficient. We can be more efficient. And this is why I said software is gonna be the cost saving of this. Like we only need like probably like 6% of that, like this, because there's like 2 million government workers. We probably need only 8% of that, and the rest we can deal with software, because software will solve a lot of issues. Because like I don't know if you guys ever work with the government, because the government lacks behind on software. They still
big time.
They still are using the 80s and 90s technology.
Yeah, they're using COBOL programming on some of their software still.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So maybe if they, like contract it out, like hire some of these IT contract companies that can like get up to speed and do well with their programs and cut costs and save time, save resources, and cut heads, man. So yeah. Darnell, what's your toss?
Yeah. No, you was on point right there, yo. Wait, hold on. Give it a second real quick. Darnell, I gotta see what Passport Blueprint is in the building. And then, of course, Alone, I dropped the link so you can join. That's going to be on YouTube or if you're on Rona's channel. I know he already dropped the link. It's an open panel. Remember, guys, you got about like 25 more minutes to come in, because at the end of the day, we got to respect the Godfather. No, I'm just kidding. He's got his lion dens coming up. Yeah, I know.
Don't do that.
I'm kidding. Wait, hold on. The Godfather.
Don't do that shit.
That's him over there. The creator of the Passport Bro movement is over there. Nah. So shout outs to the Black Prophet. He says every empire falls, and then learn history, Buck. And then, of course, followed up by what about SCI? He says, he wants Camilla to 2028 instead of JD. Heck no, please don't do that. And then shout outs to everybody. Hold on, guys. I got to put people in. So we got Passport Blueprint. Yo, what's good, Passport Blueprint?
What's going on? Man? Salute to the panel.
What's going on, my brother?
Salute. What you got, man? What you got for us, man? Crash in, crash out, whatever you want to talk about. Go ahead. You got it.
Okay, I got to give Buck some pushback on his comment on the bloated.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I understand where he's coming from. And yeah, there's some trimming that needs to be done. But there's one thing that this whole Doge thing, there's a problem with. One, inspector generals. We have inspector generals that do this type of work. Okay, they do cut down on fraud and waste. All right, they even go about and have these people that commit fraud and waste arrested. But the one thing we haven't addressed, that Doge hasn't addressed, is Congress with their pork belly spending. That's something that hasn't been addressed, and that's where you're going to get a lot of your waste. Because I can tell you, in California, they tried to build some high-speed railway from LA to San Francisco, and it hasn't been off the ground.
It's not done yet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not going to get done either. They canceled that.
It's not going to get done, and we wasted what, $1 trillion on that?
I mean, they were going to first do it from Palm Springs to LA, and then it went from now LA up to Northern California. I mean, I left California in 2014, and it still ain't done. It's just been talked about.
Yeah.
On that. Yeah, Newsom canceled it when he became governor.
Not to announce my age, but I agree with you, Passport Blueprint, on what you just said. Now, matter of fact, it was one of the biggest reasons why I stopped becoming a Republican, or why I stopped as an active registered Republican and went independent, was because Ross Perot first started talking about it back when he was running against Bush and Clinton, cutting government spending and redundancies to downsize the overspending within the federal government. So that was the biggest talking point that he had, that I was 100% behind. And it caused me so much so to back out of being a Republican and went independent.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I do understand that there's need to be a reduction in some sort of government spending, because we're overdoing it. But no one's looking at what Congress has been doing.
Right.
And that's where you get a lot of that port spending coming from.
Unfortunately.
But if you ever read these bills, these are not standalone bills. They throw other port spending in some of these bills that doesn't make sense. Like you ever read one of the COVID bills? What does suntan lotion has to do with a COVID bill?
Yeah, they put some stupid shit in there, kind of like smoke and mirrors type of shit.
Exactly, and that's where a lot of the problems come in.
Unfortunately, though, that's just how government works. The truth is as you know, it's kind of hard, especially when you got everybody that wants something different. You have to build a coalition. You got to remember, for something to pass, you have to have a majority in the Senate for something to be to go through without being filibustered. You need 60 votes. So that's hard to do. So that's the reason why they do the pork barrel spending, is to try to appease others and try to build coalitions. You know, I don't agree with pork barrel spending. It shouldn't be that way. Like, for example, hey, we got to build roads, for example. You know, you shouldn't have money for whatever. It should be for fish. It should be just building roads. But unfortunately, that's just the way it has to be done, because it's never going to get across the line without the pork barrel spending. It's just never going to get across the line.
Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick for a second. Passport Blueprint. Give me a second. Yo, Aquarius, you in the building alone. That was your name in the actual chat. You there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just waiting my turn. That's all.
No, go ahead. You got it. Your turn's now.
Okay, so
crash in, crash out, whatever.
Things, right.
Go ahead. You got it.
No, I'm not about crashing in and crashing out. I just want understanding. That's what having a conversation is all about. It's understanding a person's actions and point of views and things.
Bro,
like that.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
So help me understand, what's your representation? Why are you wearing a hat? I'm just trying to understand, what does that mean to you? And why would you put that on this type of platform? What's your take on that?
All right. Black Passport Blueprint. Go ahead. You got it. This ninja must be on the wrong show. Go ahead.
You can't be. Hold on. Let me say this. You can't be coming into a guy's show and telling him what the heck why you wearing that hat for. That's like somebody coming to your house and saying that why you wearing that hat for. That's like crazy, man. Get that dude out of this panel.
He gone. People do that. That's all good.
You know, I might not agree with obstacles. Like 100%. But it's like, at the end of the day, I'm not telling him, yo, take that hat off, because that's just white.
Well, he didn't say take that. He didn't say take the hat off, though.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I get it. But those conversations don't go forward. Me, I'm a straight direct man. So at the end of the day, I get you. You might not like it, or you want to know. I just do it because I want to.
I look at it
like
this.
So let's go.
You wear whatever you want, man.
Exactly. And it ain't even, if somebody came in here and had a Harris hat or something, or Biden, I wouldn't say like, hey man, why you wearing that? I just want to know, why would you wear it? I don't have anything. Obviously, you probably voted for him. I mean, that's maybe why you wear it. Or you might believe in what the slogans say, whatever, yes, we can. I'm pretty sure, all right, you believe yes, we can. Like, if you came with a hat that said DEI, I'd be like, okay, you might agree with DEI. I wouldn't be like, so let me ask this. I'm trying to wrap my head around. Why would you wear a hat that says DEI? Like, bro, okay, I probably know. And the reason the hat is say make America great again. It's pretty simple. But that's all right. I get it. He could talk to somebody else's show. The subject is Zelensky crashing in, crashing out. And I think DE, you was about to say something before I brought him in, or was it Black Passport? No, it was Passport. Go ahead, Passport Blueprint. You were saying something?
Basically, like I said, we need to start addressing a lot of the pork spending that's going in Congress, and Doge is not doing that. That's the problem. And that's where you're going to see a lot of what's really going on. But see, I don't mind you spending money on roads and stuff like that. That's cool. But spending money on research on cows farting, causing the ozone layer to break. Come on.
That's insanity.
That's stupid stuff. Hold
on now. No. Hold on, Passport. That was my contract. That was my contract for the government. So I wrote the damn thing. No, I'm just kidding.
I wrote the damn bill.
He's trolling. But
go ahead, Buck.
One thing, bro. They had this thing, and this is why I kind of agree with some of the Elon Doge thing of cutting off government waste. Bro, guess what they had, bro? They had they had this thing where they were giving millions of dollars to promote what is it, LBG community LBG things in Gambia, Africa. They were giving out like 70 million, and this is I think it's a USAID thing. They were giving 70 million a year to Gambia just to promote the transgender and that gay rainbow shit over there. And it was like, you see this. Then they had another 5 million in Iceland, and they were promoting like the trans rights and all that, and trans and kids seeing the trans, all that stuff. Then they sent like $90 million to Gaza and to the Palestinians for condoms. $90 million, and it's
the condoms thing. That's not true. But they did send I believe 90 million in aid to Gaza, but it wasn't for condoms.
Yeah,
see,
I thought somebody sent condoms, but let's just say, because I remember there was arguing about that, and then it was like it wasn't to it was over to this country instead. So it was still condoms, but they were arguing about where it was going to.
I'm correct myself. It was actually Gaza, Zimbabwe. It wasn't.
There's Zimbabwe. Yeah,
it was Gaza, Zimbabwe. They sent like $90 million worth of condoms, and they're here's the thing, man. They're pushing that LBG community, and they're giving money a lot to these countries, and it's crazy. It's like,
and I'm pretty sure that wasn't maybe the USAID. It's specifically like, guys, I'll be over. No. I'm just trying to say, there's sometimes we look at governments and forget that there's actually people there. So that's probably like a person just pushing some type of different incentive or new program that they want to push, because people create it inside the government agencies, if you get what I'm saying. So when I'm working overseas at embassies, right? An individual person that's a foreign service officer or whatever, they create these initiatives inside the agency, and the agency gives it a yay or nay, right? And that was the big thing that the embassy did across the board. And so at the end of the day, a lot of this expenses, I agree with everybody. People might not agree how it's being done, but I think if it was let's say if it was a guy named Alex Jones, that's a wrong name, but let's just say Alex, right?
Leave Alex out of it, goddammit.
Not Alex Jones. That's why I said the wrong name. Let's just say, Bob. Bob was the auditor, and he did the audit. It wouldn't have the impact that it has because it's Elon, because Elon's got how many millions people always viewing what he says and what he does. It gets a lot of exposure. So at the end of the day, we're having very different conversations than the, government elected inspector generals doing audits. The audits have always been done, and the government's always failed at the audit, but nobody really give a damn. So at the end of the day, now we're all having conversations about it. So I think that's, in a good direction, right? We all are having a conversation about what's useful and what's not. Let me go through this. Dang, man. I'm going to go through the chats towards the end. I'm going to get old crusty, salty.
Old country.
Pause. I just, the word.
He does seem like an old country ass niggas.
I didn't even say nothing.
No, it said,
oh, man. What's going on,
bro? I
didn't
say nothing.
My bad.
I'm about to clean my glasses. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it. What do you have to say on anything? I ain't trying to box you in. Go ahead.
Zelensky crashing out with Donald Trump today. You seen that interview and that response that he gave to Trump and how disrespectful it was? You got $300 million.
He might have thought it was.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I don't want to lead the witness. I'm sorry, Your Honor. No. I'll pull back.
That's why I came. I asked in the chat, are we talking about the Oval Office or are we talking about Doge? I'm not even fooling with Doge right now. That's a separate issue. Mm-hmm. I just thought obviously what happened today was wild. I don't care what side you're on. You could be on Trump's side. You can be on the Ukrainian side. Just the presentation, the optics of what happened. I don't care what team you're on. That shit was crazy. If I was on the Ukraine side, I'm like, bro, that ain't a good look. If I'm on Trump's side, bro, that ain't a good look. They both shit the bed. Because it shouldn't have been. I don't think that level of diplomacy should have been on the news. Yeah. It just shouldn't have been. It was embarrassing as hell. Obviously, for the Ukrainians, do they need our help? We know that. We knew that before he showed up. But we still didn't have to act a plum. Like I tell my kids, you ain't got to act a plum fool no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that at this point, America, I think we're the bigger, better country. We're the country, but you can be the bigger, better country and still make yourself look like a plum fool. I just think that.
But can you write that off as this Trump not giving a fuck because he's already been in the media's attention for damn near 20, 30 years and he doesn't care how he comes across? He's trying to make a point to a guy.
I think it's 100% Trump. I don't think it's America, but I think we as a country, we're going to suffer from it. But I do think that this is uniquely. I can't think of any president through time. I don't think the next 50 years a president will ever. Trump is so fucking unique.
Facts.
But he is so unique. But it doesn't
That's
mean
an
that it's
interesting choice of words.
Good. It does not mean that's always good. I found myself. I found myself in a bad relationship with Trump, right? Like part about him is like, damn, he excites me. And then part about him I hate because it's when I look at I'm on the Democrat side, I want to drown all those motherfuckers. I want to take the whole Democratic Party, put them in a bag, put like 1,000 rocks and like puppies, throw them over the bridge and they drown and die because I'm sick of them because they're all bitches to me. But the other side where I want somebody on this side to be Trump-like, that shit also scares me. Because I'm like, he's the side that goes too far. And I for all my Republican friends, I tell you, I love you guys. I'm glad you got your hero. You motherfuckers is kicking in doors, taking names. But that motherfucker can take us too far. He can take us too far. And today was like, are you watching?
Let me let me try to do something real quick right here. Gotta catch up, man.
Sorry about my language.
No.
No, you're fine. We done blew F-bombs up out of this bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ronan crashed in and was already using that. He done.
Hey, his 5 minutes was up. We didn't violate anything. His 5 minutes was up on YouTube. As long as you don't cut in the first 5 minutes, yeah.
The Black Prophet says, this guy Buck picks a perfect name, Buck Dancing. Come on now. What about SCI says government employees are known to be lazy. Followed by the Black Prophet, he says just putting out numbers without evidence. He says salute. And then Black Prophet says, you are naive, Buck, if you think Elon Musk not breaking departments to protect his company. Followed up by Doge has a website ninjas refuse to go look at. Followed up by SCI says, yeah, how Nancy making 100 million M's, 100 million, LOL. Yeah. All right, cool. Darwin says, salute to everyone. And then not able to get involved in political discussions online will watch the replay. Peace out. Peace out to you too, family. Alone's back. He says, wow, yeah, you got kicked out real quick. It's all good. And then SCI says he'll be silent if it was some big gang-ish, disappointing, and just understanding. Okay, understand from the sidelines. Let's go down the invite. Go ahead. I was
gonna say, didn't that Oval Office look like some G-checking shit? You know, I was thinking about that. People are like, oh shit, it's not like somebody got G-checked.
Oh, he was definitely trying to get him in line. He was definitely trying to get him in line for real.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to see that on that level. So to me, it was like, oh shit, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This is like some N-word shit.
That ain't never been done in national history when it comes to a president with the actual press sitting in the Oval Office. That ain't never been seen in nobody's lifetime.
Nope.
I don't care.
Yeah,
The decorum level was just out the freaking window.
But you know, one thing I thought it was interesting, I was going to add my part into a little bit later, but one of the things I always found interesting about Trump, for the most part, is I always saw what I got. Like he always, you know what the reality is. And, you know, as most Americans, they always want the show. Like, oh, well, they're supposed to be professional, remain. Like, no, now that keeps you in the ignorant. They're having these same discussions behind closed doors, and we got to see it. And we got to see where the state of Zelensky, who's asking the money, where he's at with it, and where's the administration at with it. So things that we wouldn't have been privy to see, we're seeing it firsthand. Now, how we take it is how we want to take it, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's the reality. I don't want to be not disclosed with the reality. Before I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm, you know, America's America. But after seeing Zelensky's conduct and his emotionalism and the whole ordeal as a leader of a nation and going in and not even realizing like, bro, nobody owes you nothing in this world. And he's coming in here still thinking that. And so it allowed me to see it. I would have never saw it if there was never this crash out situation in front of the public and in front of the media. So I'm glad we got to see it. And whether you liked it or not, let's say people were like, they both crashed out, but that's the real life situation. And now you know.
Yeah, because he got spoiled. They spoiled him every time he walks.
Well, let's just say that. Let's say not even that.
We're going to give him money. We're going to give him money.
Yeah, but watch this. Let's say not even that. Let's say he did the same thing, but behind closed doors. You guys would never know. Y'all think everything is hunky dory because they like, welcome, American people. Everything's good. And then they just go off, and you don't even know we real close to World War III. Now you have seen it. Like, dang. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question though? It's like this is my thing. Like, I couldn't find Ukraine on a fucking map. I have a general idea. I know it's in Europe, but I couldn't. If you gave me a shape of Europe with just the shapes and no names, I couldn't pick out the shape. That's how I tell people. I'm like, look, take the names off the map. Now tell me where it is. Most people can't. So what I'm saying is, I can also, while I could sit there and I get everybody saying, oh, he expected, I'm like, but I can also respect him being a president of a country in war saying, I'm not going to bend the knee to the motherfucker that came in and kicked my door in. I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so like the way I looked at it, like Trump was trying to gangster him, like, you going to bend the knee to Putin. I'm like, he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. So it was really weird. It's like, I know that we're the better, bigger, bullier country, but I can respect the little nigga saying, look, I'm not bending the knee. Fuck it.
But what I'm saying is, I get it. Yeah. But it kind of gets weird when you're asking me to help, like somebody should have helped you. If you're going to be that big dog and you're going to walk across that block, then stand on it. I get you. You don't want to bend the knee, but we're not going to bend the knee. It's crazy for you to think we're going to bend the knee to you and do what you want us to do in order to get this deal done. So if you don't agree with the deal, look, I don't have to do a damn thing for you. Let's get that straight clear. You coming in here and I'm saying, hey, this is the deal I worked out. And you're saying, nope, I'm not going to bend the knee. I'm not going to do it. Okay, cool. Look, you know what? You don't want my help then. You do what you do. We're going to do what we do. And at that point, you got to stand on it. You stand up for your own country. You do your own thing. It's your people. It's not our people. It's your people. But I get it.
But here's one part, right? Here's the last part, and I'm gonna shut up after this. Is the fact that my respect for him is that he's saying, so I come to you, obstacles. I want your help, but I'm still gonna be out on Front Street. A lot of times people come ask for your help and they gonna stand behind you.
Don't want to be Front Street. Yeah.
Right. And but what I'm saying is he's not asking America for help because Ukraine is doing all the fighting ever since it happened. We ain't sent
mostly,
no troops. We ain't did none of that.
We sent the paper. We sent the paper because he would have been there would have been no troops in 3 days.
Right. I get that. But I'm saying we've been providing money, we've been providing weapons. I get, and that's all he's asking for. He ain't asking us.
That's not all though. That's not all, Krusty. You see what I'm saying? All I'm asking for, he got African military power. It ain't much. But without our help and our Starlink, they would have wiped them.
Okay, but Russia got North Koreans over there right now. They're getting weapons. So both sides. So all I'm saying is, I will respect. I get everybody. Like everybody made the issue about we paying. I'm like, okay, good, fine. Make the issue about paying. But he's not bending the knee, and I don't think I should tell him to bend the knee. If you come to me optionally like, man, Rico, give me some money. I gotta keep fighting this dude. All right, fine. I'm not gonna tell you, just bend over and let him beat your ass. I'm like, okay, either I'm gonna help you on that.
Yeah, no. That sounds like some abusory family stuff. When family be like, give me the money, but you can't tell me what to do at the same time. If you want my money, it comes with terms. Now, if you don't, and you say you a man, then stand on it. No, don't come to me for no assistance then. That's null and void. I do that to my family. Hey, I love you. Can I get money? Yeah, you can get money, but this is the terms and agreements. I ain't gonna do that. You should just give me the money. I'm gonna stand on my own. Just stand on your own.
So let me ask you this. If I tell
I'm not against you. I'm not stopping you from standing on your own.
Okay. But if I tell you, okay, I'm gonna give you the money to keep fighting, but you can't hit them back. Then you're gonna look at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right?
No, because I also know the landscape. What did we talked about earlier, RT? I said what? Economic warfare. We got military warfare. So it's not over. And especially since we were about to sign a mineral agreement, like our companies would have been in Ukraine. At that point, it would have been very difficult for Putin to touch Ukraine even more because now American industries are there. So he got to say, I'm a wage war, not only on Ukraine now, but also American industries out there that are exploration on this actual mineral program and deal. That would have been very difficult. So he would have insulated. He could have got him on the economic side. But go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Obstacles. Here's the problem, though. So a lot of where those minerals are is on the eastern portion, and guess what portion Russia controls of Ukraine? The eastern portion, along with Crimea. That's where all the oil. That's where all the minerals are. Yeah. So. I mean, so it's kind of like
exactly. So that would have been better for Zelensky.
So it would still be better for Zelensky because at that point, then Putin would have to really pull out because he's endangering his people even further.
Wait a minute. Y'all making an argument about Putin pulling out. Putin didn't pull out after 2014 when he took Crimea.
Sure did.
Yeah, but this is a whole different. Look,
what makes you guys think that he's going to pull out? In 2025, he's been sitting.
Okay, he's not.
He took a portion of Ukraine.
So here's the thing.
Okay. Look.
Here's the thing.
Okay, go ahead, RT. Go ahead.
There were sanctions that were levied against Russia for not pulling out of Crimea.
Yes.
So you think with Trump being in office, there wouldn't be further sanctions or loosening of sanctions, provided that they pulled back at that point? To the benefit of Putin's desire,
right?
Because Trump might have a little bit better relationship with Putin, and Putin might think he's getting over on Trump because he's his bitch or whatever. At the end of the day, it's a leverage point. If Trump wins this over, he gets $1 trillion worth of rare minerals that will benefit the United States. He has access to it. Yes, we got to go through the processing and setting up the development and all that. But at that same point, now we put a fucking big ass barrier between Putin and Ukraine because our businesses are there. And now we're going to go back to say, Putin, hey, we got a great relationship. You know, I'm over there now. What is it going to take for you to just back the fuck up a little bit and go back home?
Well, see, but
wait, DE, let me ask you something. Are you by a campfire or something? Where you at, man?
Yeah, he outside.
Yeah, I'm at a fire pit.
Oh, that's lit, yo. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but Ronan, you know, you sound like you should look up this name, Neville Chamberlain. All right, that guy, he was the British Prime Minister prior to World War II.
Okay.
All right, he tried he tried to appease Hitler, and it did not go the way it was supposed to.
It's not about appeasing. I didn't say appease anybody.
No. Watch this.
Leverage.
Watch this. Ronan, ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready for this, Ronan?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Go ahead.
All right. So, Ronan, you are the president of the United States of America.
Oh, here we go.
See, DE?
Wait. The failure
Who
of
you
DE.
want, DE or Krusty? You want DE or Krusty?
I take Krusty all day. I take Krusty all day.
Let's take Krusty. DE, you already fell on your face. We don't want to do that again. Look, and then Krusty, who you want to play? You want to Zelensky. That's your role as Zelensky. Yeah.
Ooh,
so you're attempting
good.
You're attempting to do whatever you think Zelensky should be doing. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to box you in. So you're just sitting having this meeting with President Trump, but it's President RT, right? And this is the conversation. I'm not involved in it. I'm media. DE, you stay out of it. Passport, Buck, we all out of it. We just interpreters, right? We just sitting in the room.
I'm hitting the mute button right now.
All right. And so here go. So you got it? You got it, Krusty? What's going on in this situation? This is like a role play situation. And for all the viewers, right? So we got President RT in the building. And then we got Zelensky. Oh, Krusty Zelensky. All right. And this is what's going on. They're in the meeting. They're having a one-on-one right here. And they're going to have a conversation. We're all out of it, okay? At the end of the day, they know their positions and their role. And we're all just going to be listening in. I leave you gentlemen to it. If you need anything, let us know. Have a great meeting.
All right, overseer. All right, President Zelensky, Mr. Old Krusty, you've come to the office today. Thank you for coming to the White House. What are you looking for? What are you looking for from us? What do you need us to help you with?
We need further assistance.
Assistance, and by what? Give me a clear definition of what assistance you need and how much.
Money and weapons to help us in the defense of our nation. We are being attacked by a bigger and stronger nation, unprovoked. They've taken territory from us. So what I would like, while I do appreciate, Mr. RT, all of the assistance that you have given up to us up until this point. And I thank you, and I thank all the people of your nation for the way that you've supported us, because we wouldn't have sustained the fight up until this point without your help. However, we need some sort of assurances that your help will continue, because we're the tip of the spear against the communism that's trying to infect the rest of the Western world. So I have my fighters, my citizens out there. I'm giving the blood, the land, but we don't have the weapons, the modernized weapons, to fight against a bigger army. So I would thank you and your people. You could continue to assist us. I have an initial figure, but I don't want that to set for you to believe that would be the total.
Okay, decipher the initial figure. Decipher the initial figure before I come back with a resolution. I need to know what is it and what are we getting out of this? This has been going on for 3 years. We've already invested so much into your country, into your military, by technology and money. We've infused a lot of help that way. And I can appreciate you're fighting a war with one of the world's enemies when it comes to our nation. But at the end of the day, my American people are paying the tab for this. So what are we going to get for the benefit of helping you further after 3 years?
Well, what I can promise you is if we stand fast as a nation, we will continue to expand the American values and belief systems, which we already share. We have shared values of democracy. We have shared values of...
I'm going to need a little more than values and democracy. I'm going to need something tangible. I'm a tangible kind of guy. I'm old school.
We will be the exterior security. America has security within its borders, right?
But
you agree,
Mr. Zelensky, you're saying you're going to promise us that you're going to be the exterior security for us, but we're already supporting you. So that would mean we would have to give you future support, reinforce your military that's already dwindling because it's being weakened in this war. So now we have to restructure your whole country in order to get you up to speed, in order to defend us or help defend us against Russia as a threat, meaning we're infusing even more dollar bills. What do you have to offer us to do that? Now we do, and we're very aware that you have rare earth minerals. I'd like for you to put that on the table. And a decent rate of return, because we've already invested $350 billion into your country. I would like to at least have access to about $1 trillion worth of producible rare earth metals and materials that we can utilize for our corporations.
But now you're proposing an imbalance.
Why is it an imbalance?
I'll explain to you, Mr. President. We're offering you security outside of your borders.
We have our own security.
Within your borders. So what I'm saying is we're keeping the barbarians away from the gate.
Really?
Not at the gate, because without the Ukrainian people, without us fighting your enemies in Europe, they'll be at the doorstep of America. And I think it would cost you 10 times as much if they get to your gates. I think that the risk to the American people will be far greater if the barbarians will get to your gate. We will give you assurances that they will never get to the gates of America. But we have to have help. That's what we're paying for. However, we're not asking you for any of your resources from your land. You're asking us for resources from our land. What we're saying is we're already making the payment through the blood, the toils of my Ukrainian people who are laying down their line, who is keeping what is America's number one enemy. America's number one enemy is communism and the scourge of Putin and the Russian, the fatherland, the motherland, whatever they call it. We will beat it back. We will beat it back with American values and Ukrainian blood. And what I'm saying is, with your assistance and our blood, we will promise you we will keep the barbarians from ever reaching the gates of America.
Well, I can appreciate your exuberance and the way you explained all that, Mr. Zelensky. First of all, Russia ain't beating down our doorsteps. We're a whole continent away or so. So let's put it this way. They're beating down the doorstep of the European nations. So why don't you take that proposal over to NATO and see what they're going to tell you? But what I'm telling you, for the American people and the dollars and the tax dollars that I've been investing in your country to defend, help defend you with the military technology that we've given you, the $350 billion that we've already given you. Yeah, you're losing lives. And that's unfortunate. American sons and daughters have lost lives all over the world. So I have a sympathy for you in that respect. But at the end of the day, I work for the American government and the American people. And right now, at $350 billion in a deficit, I need to show a rate of return as a brand new president coming into office. So while the status quo and the other presidents and the other politicians you might have dealt with might be used to just giving up money and not expecting anything in return, I'm sorry, it's a new day. I need to have something given back to us. And it's not just the promise of expanding the values of, there's 178 sovereign nations already. One additional bordering the Russian government does not necessarily bother us or hinder us, one or the other. That would be more than European Union and the NATO nations. And you can always take and present that to them. But if you want our help, we're going to need a rate of return. And I'm looking at your rare earth metals and materials, which aren't even being processed at this point, which are still in the ground, which means my industry has to go over there, set up businesses, which one is a layer of protection for you, because now my U.S. industry is over there developing the rare earth processes in order to get that out the ground. So what that does is hinder your opposition, which is Putin, from coming into your nation, because I have my people over there. So now you have a layer of protection because my American people over there developing the processes in order to get those rare earth metals out. And that's worth something.
I agree with you, Mr. President.
So then I'm back to the original point without you throwing a lot of smoke and grandiose ideas to me about the American values. I need a dollar amount. And right now I'm stuck at about $1 trillion of rare earth materials that we still have to set up processing for, which means we're still giving you an investment in your economy and the growth of your business by doing some certain things there. Okay, we're bringing over workers and developing your people in order to learn the processes in order to get those rare earth metals out of the ground. We're doing all this in order to benefit ourselves, but we're also benefiting you, and we're putting up a wall so that the Russians can't come over and bother you without possibly hitting an American person, which will start off what.
I would say this to you, Mr. President. You offering such a generous offer for our rare earth materials, that would tell us that we must be sitting on something of great, enormous value.
Then you can defend it by yourself without our assistance.
Correct. However, your offer of great, enormous value is not just valuable to you. That means that these rare earth materials are of great value to other nations around the world, to include a lot of your enemies.
Correct, but we still have to pay for the processing and extraction of it.
Correct. But
do you have a way, Mr. President, on getting those rare earth metals and materials out of the ground?
I have.
You have the money to even invest. With your economy where it is, with your whole country in devastation, do you have the money, the time, or the wherewithal to even invest and to pull that money out? And by the way, even though we're getting $1 trillion worth of your precious metals and materials out of the ground, we're setting up a whole industry in order to do that. You're still going to reap the whirlwind and some benefits. We're not taking 100% of everything. We said $1 trillion. There's more than that in the ground.
I agree with you, Mr. President. I have not the money. I have not the resources. I have not the ability. But what I'm saying to you, Mr. President, is you're not the only client. America is not the only client.
Go get the other clients then. Bring them to the table. See if they can make a better offer. Go get your other clients, and we can reconvene at a bigger room. Besides for just me and you, you can bring all those clients in the room and see if they have a bigger, better offer than us, sir.
Calm down, Mr.
I ain't got time to pussyfoot around. We here to make a deal.
Right.
Donald Trump don't mess around here.
Is that, do you want your enemies to reap the rewards?
That's a question you have to ask your people. Have your people suffered enough that they're wanting 100% the help of the United States people?
If we don't get it from the U.S.,
where are you going to get it from?
China.
Oh, so you want to work a deal with China, the same partner that with Russia already? You might as well just go ahead and hand over your country right now. What you mean, China? I know you're not trying to throw China in my face.
Depending on what they're offering, because you're offering a very difficult deal.
I don't care what China offers you. You would not do a deal with China. That's a moot point because China's in bed with Russia.
China's in bed with everyone.
So we can control them.
Africa, Latin America.
So we can control them because our industries are over there benefiting them. If we decide to say that you can't process anything over in China anymore and shut our industries down until them move to India, guess what? They'll do that. Yeah, it might hurt us for a minute.
Can I call you back after I talk to Xi?
Go ahead and talk to Xi Jinping and let him know that if he decides to do a deal with you, we'll go ahead and put a couple additional tariffs on him to make sure he doesn't want to close any kind of deal with you.
Okay, Oscar, who won?
Oh boy!
Let the chat decide. Let the chat decide.
Let the chat decide. But I ain't gonna say nothing. DE, what you got, man? What you think? How it go down for you, man? What you think? Who did what? Who went why? How? What you think?
I think both of them did an outstanding job. I think Ronan, though, I think he got you crusty by a nose. I mean,
oh, you being so PC right now, bro. It's more than a nose. That brother only offered us values. He only offered us values for the deal. Oh, I'm gonna promote the American values.
He's the judge. Stop trying to goose the judge. Go ahead, D. He's the judge.
So I mean, basically, Ronan, you stayed strong. You stayed strong in your convictions and like, hey, I want those minerals. You didn't yield an inch. Rico, same thing. You weren't really yielding at all either. So that's why I say you both did.
But who needs the help and who doesn't? That's the point. I don't need the help.
Well, I mean that's the material. I'm just being. I'm asking. I was just asked the question about the
Go
debate.
ahead, De. Don't let RØDE take you off your course. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Say your piece.
Now towards the end, I think Rico kind of started. This is where I felt Rico started to lose it. Just a little bit, like bringing up China, for example, saying, "Hey, I can go to China." Well, I mean that right there is not going to happen because China and Russia are kind of almost in bed with each other. And so I wouldn't expect a whole lot there. And to say, even though Ronan kind of started going on a tangent there a little bit. Rico's like, calm down. Like that's when I felt Rico started to lose ground a little bit, but it was basically towards the end. So, but overall, I would say both of you guys did outstanding.
Come on, we got here.
All right, cool. Passport blueprint. Dang, you put him in sleep.
Ronan. I think Ronan won that one. I'm sorry, Rico. I mean, you put up a good fight, but when you went to China, you gotta do your research, man, because China, that whole BRIC Nation thing, man, they're all in bed, bro. And when you pull China out of there, that was like you lost.
Yeah,
you lost.
I mean, you were pulling. Listen, Rico, you were pulling on the moral high ground and the emotions of the situation. Yes, you did all that. But facts are facts. We've invested 3 years, $350 billion, and at what rate of return? The other two presidents didn't get it.
President, we heard you, President. Wait, hold on. We heard you, President. We heard you. And then don't worry, Rico, you got it. You got one. You got Paul Minor. He said Rico edged it. And I think, hey, look, I tell you what, y'all both did better than DE. That's for sure. Shout out to DE. I still love you, my brother. But nah, I think Rico, he played the hand he had to play. It wasn't a superior hand in the first place. So I was talking to myself. I was like, I mean, that's a good position if Ronan fall for it, but I don't think he will. So net, he just didn't. So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It was like one of those positions where the other person, they got to score, but it's a little bit more difficult. And the other person just had not to be stupid enough to get played from the Jedi mind trick that Rico was trying to play on RØDE.
Do that. No.
Yeah, it was the only thing. And then I guess the only thing he could have did was just like bow out and say, okay, let me figure out what I can do and come back to you. But instead, he just threw a Hail Mary and was like, I'm going to go get China. Your enemies, I'm going to go on their side. And we saw how that worked out for Zelensky when he said, in the future, who knows what's going to happen to y'all. So net, he tried it, but I think it was at least interesting. And I think both of you gentlemen did a great job. And I think that's important, man, for people to actually see themselves in their own situation so they can understand that, hey, man, these things might not be that easy as we think it is. It's two people who want what they want. And, as much as we smile and we got this big UN center and chamber, we all selfish and we want the best for our own. And so that's hard to get those two people to meet up and agree, especially when people are getting deleted. So that just makes it complicated. So even Zelensky getting emotional, I don't hold it to him. Like even Rico said, if he was just somewhere sitting back and asking for things, it'd be different. But he's on the front of the field. He's making sacrifices. And so when people just sit there and they in a two-piece suit saying yes or no, he like, God dang it. So I could see the crash out. But at the end of the day, nobody owes you nothing. That's also a reality. I appreciate you guys being on the channel, man. RT had to bounce because he got his Lions Den going on. So go check out RT Ronan's Traveler. I think they'll be talking about something. I didn't get to check out what the stream was or have him say that, but I'll let people have their closing statements because that's what we do out here in this show. So we're gonna leave Zelensky to the end. Rico, Zelensky to the end. But net, let's get Passport Blueprint in here to say his last final piece. What you got, my brother?
Man, geopolitics, man, it's very hard and very difficult for anybody to comprehend. It's extremely difficult. So it's not cut and dry as everybody think it is. It really isn't. It's dirty, just like regular U.S. politics. And me studying that from being in Israel and stuff, it gets really, really dirty, and it's extremely complicated. So That's all I got to say about it. It's not cut and dry like everybody think it is.
Well, I appreciate you, Passport Blueprint, and that was some words of wisdom right there if I ever heard on YouTube. Shout outs to Darnell. Darnell, what's up? You next. What you got?
Great stream. Kind of hard to follow after Passport Blueprint. He literally took the words right out of my mouth. So, there's really nothing else I can say. I'll just go ahead and close it out with that. But I agree with Passport Blueprint. It's not cut and dry.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. And shout outs to you, DE. You always been in here. You know I'm joshing with you. You're going to have your chance to have that role play segment and come back and defend yourself again. So Net, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in the room. And thanks for supporting as always, DE. I really appreciate it. Enjoy that campfire. You only live once, my brother.
That's it.
Now we have live for the amazing winning. Now, there have been negotiations and everybody has been super tense about what will happen with the geopolitics that are going on in Ukraine and the United States of America. And now I'm live here with two of the best gentlemen in the world, and the whole entire planet is sitting on edge to figure out what happened. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. How are you doing? Rico Zelensky, how are you today?
Wonderful.
And also President RT of the USA. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Well, it's great. I hope your meeting was wonderful. So I just have one question for each of you. How did the meeting go? Now, I'll start off with Zelensky Rico. If you could tell me how things went, we would love to hear.
Things were a little spicy. There was a little bit of a misunderstanding. I had to represent my country and my people. We had to stand in our position. But at the end of the day, I stand for the glory of Ukraine, the Ukrainian people. We will fight to the end. I love the American people, and the food was okay.
Wow, just the food.
Oh, wow. Just okay.
The food was okay.
You must have not had our hamburgers. Now, President RT, it seems like you had a okay meeting. So what is your comment about the meeting and how did it go?
Well, I mean, I'd like to say I
nice do-rag, by the way. That's really sweet.
I'm sorry. You rushed me out the shower to get on this thing. No, anyway. I can appreciate President Zelensky's position, his country's situation, and the force in which he has to apply pressure to not only me, the American public, and public opinion to kind of sway what I feel the American people deserve. He's made some interesting points in our conversation. I think both countries have strong alliances when it comes to getting along. But at the end of the day, I work for the American people. And even though emotionally I might be drawn to his pleas, I still must answer to the American people. So some of the things we talked about, I'm going to have to think about, sit down with my cabinet and see what we can do. But I proposed some things to him that the American people should like and understand why I did it, for some type of return, because we have been investing a lot away from our lands instead of here in America. And one of my platforms was to bring and save the American people a lot of money and reinvest in our country first. America first is the plateau that I'm standing on, and I'm going to hold true to that, even though as much as President Zelensky's passion for his people and the situation he is in draws the American public, I still must make the best decision for our people at the end of the day.
Well, that sounds exciting. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for another one of Global Peace. All right, guys, so I'll have your last words on just everything. And again, I don't want to box you guys in, so go ahead. And because we started off with, okay, go ahead, Rico.
Yeah, because he won, so I'll let him have it. I'm
going
to say
there
this
we go.
was great. This was really great obstacle. I really enjoyed this. And I really think that this is type of the conversation that we should be doing more of. Because to be honest with you, it's weird that it took what happened today for us to talk about this, but we need to be talking about this every week. This is not, it just got really super spicy today. But this is really going on all the time. You know, from your background, we should be talking about Congress, especially as travelers around the world. You know, we need to be talking about the whole word is geopolitical. Yep. That doesn't mean U.S. political. That's the whole globe. So whether you're in Thailand, the Philippines, DR, wherever, we should be interested in places we go, how we fit in as Americans in these places, what's going on in those countries to begin with. So I really appreciate you letting me come up and join the conversation. And I just wanted to say that great conversations. These are the type that I look for more of. They ain't as sexy as the other crap, but I have more fun. So thank you. And I hope you continue to do more of it.
As always,
Yes,
Rico,
sir.
you're always a great guy, man. Appreciate you. And
yes, sir. That's facts.
All right. Have a great night.
All right, see you, brother. All right, you too. Now go ahead, President. You got the last word.
Well, you know, I liked that we were able to kind of give people a different viewpoint on the conversation politically and leverage pins when it goes into geopolitics and leveraging advantages versus disadvantages without making you look like the bad guy. Obviously, certain decisions are going to have to be made. You know, even right now in geopolitics, I don't know if anybody's aware of, 29 cartel members were recently turned in by the Mexican government to the USA, strictly because they don't want the federal government and our military going in to fight the cartel, because the cartel has been acknowledged as now a terrorist organization. So rather than have the U.S. military go tear through Mexico, the cartel decides to give up 29 of their cartel members that they probably feel like are going to be the first ones to get sought after. So go figure that. You know what I mean? So geopolitics right now, especially with Trump being in office and how nonchalant, I guess would be the best word to say, he is when it comes to implementing certain things, especially with the executive orders that were signed, not fought yet. Obviously, they'll get fought in court later. You can sign a whole bunch of things, whether they're legal or not, and they'll get fought out in court. And he knows he's going to win some and he's going to lose some. He's willing to take those L's, you know. So at the end of the day, this is a great discussion. Hopefully the people that are playing this back on replay get into it and start digging for themselves to figure out what's going on globally. That's one of the things I look at most important when it comes to a president. What's his global position? You know, we can work things out here in the country, state by state, if we have to, you know, but globally, the intimidation factor, whether you feel like people are going to come into our nation to start bothering us, is the biggest standpoint I look at for any president running this country. So as always, obstacles, it's always a pleasure to come on your panels, whether we talking about the military, geopolitics, whether we talking about investments and all that. You know, it's always a great time to be on your show. And yeah, thank you for promoting our show. We're getting ready to do troll night. So Paul Milner and all the others that do the trolling, you know, if you want to bring smoke tonight, this is smoke night. We're just going to go ahead and do it. Knock it out the box. There's representations there. There's Kim.
Yeah, right. That's pretty good.
There's Milano sitting there. That's the lady with the letter begins with Z. And her cohort, her male feminist buddy Chris. So we have several little trolls that we talk about all the time, or in passing, you know, and the other that are renamed nameless. And thank God you don't have your faces up, or I would have transformed you into trolls as well.
Well, I appreciate it, RT. Greatly appreciate it. And I'll catch you next time, brother. Have a good stream. We're gonna sign off pretty soon.
Do-rag off since you got me out the shower because get in here for the show tonight.
But thanks for coming. All right, man. Thanks for coming to the show, man. Shout out to him. And let me go ahead and not disrespect the chats. I got you guys. Old Crusty Extra Salt Uncle Rico says, are we doing Doge or the Oval Office? And then we were doing the Oval. He came on the show after that. Uzi said, oh, hell nah. And then we continue with SCI says they love pushing LGBTQIA+. And remember, though, for me, I really don't come at it much, guys. I'm just like, let's talk about economics. But today we were talking about politics. America Talk Alive says all-star chat, salute. And then, Rico was in the building. Condoms is true, but it was Africa and they needed it there. And then Krusty followed to reduce the spread of STDs in Africa, which actually have extremely low STDs if you look up the statistics. Of course, some places don't, but the majority, yes. Uzi says, yeah, I don't mind the condom thing. And then followed by Rico saying salute to other people and asking for the link. LGBTQ is a part of their religion and also people's personal beliefs. Uzi says, that was crazy. Never seen that before. Talking about the back and forth in the Oval Office. And if they allowed Ukraine to join NATO, would the funding still be an issue? At that point, the funding will be there, I'm assuming. Ninja Cool says, energy. And JT says, Zelensky is fighting for his country against a nation that most nuclear warheads in the world. Facts. And then Rico said, of course, Paul said Rico edged it. And then SCI says, pro-blacks simping for neo-Nazis in Ukraine. Imagine that. And then let's move to the last point of Drew. Said, LOL, Rico, you don't want talk about fundraising for Spectrum travelers. And shout out to everybody who came and supported the channel today. And again, I just wasn't to cover this because I seen it and thought it was very interesting. So we just have some fun and spice it up. But I always enjoy the role play because it allows people to sit in that position and then walk it like they talk it. Guys, I appreciate you. I'm out of here. Obstacles to opportunity. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good weekend. Don't worry about Zelensky and Trump. Worry about taking control over your own life. Catch you guys on the next one. The conditions, nurture or nature. It's nature plus a little nurture. Your mama didn't know. The school system didn't show. You decide. Damn the school system. I decided to take control of my life. Damn the financial illiterate mother that I had. I decided to take control of my life. Damn my father dying when I was young. I decided to control my life. Damn the crack dealer stepfather that I had that used to beat me until the blood poured off my back like I was on Amistad. Damn him. I decide where I'm going to end up. Nobody else. No stepfather, no hood, no trailer park. I decide where I'm going to go. Nature. I go to war with nature and I win.